First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. Stand that right here. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC, gunmetal crystal edge technology screens, and our FLE-VT technology. We're going to be having a launch date pretty soon on the FLE screen paint. And what's the other thing we might be launching too? Actually, there's a special screen paint, but I can't even go into that too much because that's we just make it a special order. You know what I mean? I got people coming in for it. We just make it a special order. But anyway, let's talk about the reality of the white projection screen. Now, I've seen these demonstrations time and time again on screens that will go against a white screen, of course, because it's one of the screens you're going to find just about every place. As I told you about before, when I'm walking in and out of buildings and I'm checking out different establishments and see what kind of projector setup they have in there, we don't ever see gray. We never see gray in any of those establishments. We always see white screens because that's pretty much the first screen that somebody will buy if they're buying a projection screen setup, because unless they bump into our technology and see our demonstrations, either they go through us. And if they don't see our demonstrations, then chances are they're just going to go and get a white screen because they figure that their projector with all the colors and capabilities, bells and whistles, is going to fix the problem. This is what happened to me. I know about this because it literally happened to me. I bought a BenQ MS500, first projector ever purchased. I figured the white wall would be sufficient. Yeah, the projector that has tons of colors and contrast, and I'm thinking that all this is going to project right to the wall, and I was sadly mistaken. Nothing really came up. It just washed out. It was badly. Mind you, most people are just coming off maybe a TV. I was coming off 2 Tesla graphic cards, a custom-built gaming PC, and I had 2 OLED screens, 42 side by side, for my setup. So imagine going from an OLED right to a white wall with a projector that's 600 by 800, 720p. Imagine that. So that's the situation I was in. So again, as I said before, huge, massive change. And at that point, I really didn't have any desire to use my gaming PC, especially from what I've been seeing since I was on there doing some gaming, that the colors and everything was just so off-center. It wasn't even funny. Like, it was really depressing. So everything I thought that I was going to get out of this projector, I did not get. That was the reality. So basically, as I started working with darker paints, I realized that the darker the color, the more advanced the product. Well, not at first. We started with digital and crystal screen paint with gray products first. That's what we started with. But they're much better than a white screen. Much, much better than a white screen at that particular time. So for people who have been misinforming you and telling you that it's all about the white levels when it comes to a gray screen, no. That's not the reason why people started developing gray mixes way back 8, 9 years ago. People started probably way farther than that because I got into the game like 5 years late. But anyway, people started developing darker gray mixes due to the fact that they wanted better contrast, they wanted better color, and they wanted to be able to withstand some light in the environment instead of being in these super pitch black environments. There used to be a projector called the Galaxy, I think it was called D something, but it was a 737. It was a Chinese knockoff projector. They were very popular. They worked extremely well, and I mean extremely well, very well. Did everything they said they were supposed to do, and a lot of people were buying them. This is when the PS2 was raging. How far back it was when the PS2, everybody was dropping on that Blu-ray. So, you know, people were buying these projectors because they were very affordable. If you thought projectors were expensive now, my God, you should see the projectors, how much they cost then. Back then, they were pretty expensive. This is when you got DLP first coming up on the scene and a lot of the newer projectors coming up, which now the technology is much easier to make. It's much more affordable compared to what it was when it first came out. It's like if those of you remember when VCRs came out, you remember a VHS tape used to cost back then? It was $100. When they first came out, I remember seeing Commando on a VHS tape for $100. So look that up and see exactly. And now look at what they cost coming down through time. They're pretty much were next to nothing. Now they're like nothing at all. But anyway, that's what people paid for. Anyway, so using the setup I had, like I said, screen was really washed out. Now, I didn't go here because most people, I started off with a white wall because I figured what was the point of me going in and spending the money for a projection screen, because I tried a white sheet of paper. I tried white sheets, all that stuff, and nothing, everything basically just blended with the wall. So I figured, spend the money for a white projection screen, I might just use my wall. And you know, that used to be a topic at one point. There used to be a topic at one point, white wall versus white screen. Which is better? Spend the money for a screen, use your everyday white wall. Use white paint versus, and people have the argument that it was a 2.0 and 0.0, you know, difference between a white wall, and there was no difference at all, period. Anyway, so this is usually what I don't like about Amazon or eBay. Now, Elite Screens and all the other big companies don't do this. They basically would just have their logo splashed across. That's it. But they give you, these other companies give you the illusion that this is what you're going to be able to pick up. Like this nonsense right here. Let me go click on this real quick. Let's zoom up and show you. This is what you see when you go to purchase a white projection screen. 18 bucks. You're going to be in an environment like so at 160 inches sitting right next to a window. Notice the window right there next to the screen. That's a huge lie right there. That is never going to happen. Not ever going to happen. But just look how they paint the picture for you. So they put this big old window. You got this family sitting there, giant, massive 160-inch screen. And judging by the environment, it is really well lit in there, isn't it? And that screen is pulling up just like a TV. For $18.99, this will never happen. I don't care what projector you buy at the end of the day. This is not going to happen. Keep in mind, for those of you who argue what I'm talking about, check out my intro video. It shows a church with a massive white screen. And they describe that the projector they're using is a 7,000 lumen projector. Now, if a 7,000 lumen projector can hit that surface and bring it up, that means the white screen's having problems. And if that's the case, then that means that it's not working. No matter how much money and how many lumens you spend for a projector, you're just literally just washing it out even faster. That's all you're doing. Adding more light to the screen. This is the stuff I don't like. I don't like when they show that you're going to pick up an image like this, because that's lying to the customers right there. There's a couple of them on here that I'm going to start digging into to show you what's going on. Like the outdoor motorized projection screens are extremely dangerous because, again, in order for you to have an outdoor motorized projection screen, it has to be sealed. And some of these are not even sealed at all, period. So yeah, we'll talk about that later on. All right, so these are all the white screens down here. Look at these, are all white screens. Look at the images popping up on these bad boys at the end of the day. Wow, wait till you see the outdoor ones. That's even crazier. All right, so let's click on this one. $59. Look at the image on that. White projection screen. You really think you're going to get an image that looks like that? Not even, nowhere close to that. Not even going to happen. Look at this one right here. Look at this image. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about. This kind of nonsense. How is that even possible? Well, I tested dozens and dozens of white screens, more than I can count. 160-degree viewing angle, front and rear. Do you know what happens to a rear projection screen that's white when light passes through it? It washes out completely. Because you have light hitting the back of the screen and the front of the screen at the same time. So it completely disappears. You have to be outside at nighttime in order to get it to activate. And even at nighttime, they still don't even work correctly. So right next to a window, a rear projection screen that's white and it's picking up an image in that kind of daytime. No, that's not happening. That's a lie. Now, for those of you in the gray screen paint category, let me explain something to you. The argument of saying the reason why, the best thing about the gray screen is its white levels, that tells me right there from the door that you don't know anything about the gray screens. You already told me from the door. Because I was around before you guys were around, and when people were making gray screens by the tons, they were all over ABS forums, Projectors Central. There were so many different versions of screen paints. It wasn't even funny on how many people were doing it. Everybody was trying to keep up with Goose Screen. That's what it was about. Goose Screen came up with the screen. It was gray. You know, it had these really complicated applications and instructions, and everybody was coming up with their own version of these madhouse instructions. I guess they thought the more complicated it was, the more, more technology, more advanced the product was. I don't even know, but it was just very complicated, like multiple steps in order to actually to apply this surface, and how you had to hold the roller, and how much pressure you had to put onto the roller, and how it had to be a light roller, then a heavy roller, then you get what I'm talking about. That's where all that craziness came from. That's where the other person gave me flashbacks of the goose screen era. But anyway, customers at the end of the day didn't want to be bothered with it. Simple, fast, good results. That's all they want. So this is what everybody was doing. So basically, it was never, not one person in any of those forum sites talked about the white levels. Everybody talked about contrast, color, and the ability to be able to pull in somewhat of a lit environment, At least you have one light bulb in there. Because if you watched any of the demonstrations that were from that era, and everybody was talking about the 737 projectors at that time, every single person who displayed that projector was in a super dark room. I mean dark. You couldn't see any ounce of light. It was the equivalent of almost sitting inside of a black hole. The darker your room was, the better your YouTube video was. That's how it was then. Now it's the more light you have in the environment, the better the YouTube video. It was the opposite then. So you had people in these super crazy dark rooms. They had to turn the lights on so you could see who was talking, and so they could show off the screen. And then when they went to show the demonstration off, all the lights went off, pitch black environment, and they were showing off their gray screens in these super dark environments. So, as I said before, it was never about the white levels. If that was the case, then you could go back to a white screen. The main argument in these forum sites was white screen versus gray screen. That's what it was. So people who have white screens were saying that with the original screens, they're the best screens to get. You're going to get better color because the white levels are higher. That's white people, white say about white people. White screens used to rage about because they are basically a lighter color. You're going to pick up lighter, brighter colors. The gray screens are going to come out dark and they're going to come out dirty. Interesting. Yeah, that was the topic in most of the demonstrations, versus the white screen versus the gray screen, the white projector screen versus the white wall, the DLP versus LCD. These are topics I used to go into all the time and actually chat with. But anyway, getting back to this. So it was never about white levels. So when you got people coming on there saying that, well, you know, it's about the white levels. If that's the case, then go buy a white screen. Because technically, if you're sitting there making statements that a gray screen, of any screen that's not the same color as white, it's going to pick up the same white level, you have sadly lied right on camera. You can't say that unless you have evidence that you can do that. All right. So these are all the lies they tell you. As I told you before, when I was over in Best Buy, and I watched that woman, oh God, they're going to be outside camping with this thing. Well, that'll never happen. And they made that statement about, you know, he made that statement to her like this, the projector has all these colors. It has this contrast. It's like a 500,000-to-1 contrast. You're going to see heavy, crazy black levels. She said, well, I don't want to be in the dark because it's going to go into my living room. Don't worry about that. You can use this with all the lights on. I guarantee you, she was back there the next day. Oh, these projectors right here. I don't get me started. Don't even get me started. That's a rant that's going to go on forever. I can't stand freaking knockoff projectors. I hate these things so much. It's not even funny how much I hate these projectors. Biggest lies on the face of the planet. You know, it's funny. They regulate just about everything you could possibly think of. Where's the freaking restriction policies and regulation codes that goes into basically projectors? How do these things pass through so fast? You know, for some people sitting there saying, oh, it comes from China. No, not true. I actually bought a couple of projectors that were manufactured right over in California. The reason why I didn't buy them over in China is because it took too long for them to get here. And I found a company in California that actually manufactured the projectors. And that's how I got them over here. That fast. So you really can't say that, because I got that a lot in the comment section talking about, yeah, Chinese. Don't say that. Come on now. You're coming off as a bit of a racist. Don't say that. The projectors I got now, parts and stuff can be manufactured overseas. Companies did it all the time because it's cheaper. But the assembly of a product can be right here in the United States. But anyway, so getting back to all this. So you see all this right here, right? This is all a lie. All this right here is a lie. Amazon should be busted on this, to tell you the truth, because they shouldn't allow merchants to do this. And, you know, people saying, well, it's not. No, Amazon is a HUD, just like eBay, and they allow other merchants to connect to their HUD. They bring them tons of traffic, and they advertise their products. So all these companies right here just lie, because there is no way in the world that these screens are going to be able to do this. That is not going to happen. I like to go in here and look at some of these right here. $59. You just get a white sheet. Literally, a white sheet would literally do the exact same thing. Let me see. Amazon uses a lot of AI pictures, by the way. You ever look at a picture and see the shine gloss go across it? Yeah, that's AI technology. That's one thing I hate about AI, because you can actually lie now on your pictures. Scary thing for people using AI, for people actually buying, people are using AI, if you're buying used items, because then you don't know exactly how the item is, how it really looks, because they use AI to clean it up, and that's dangerous. That's very dangerous, especially when it comes to showing off projection screens and all that. You should be seeing the original, no AI technology. You need to know exactly what you're buying. That's just a new way of basically learning how to sell things and tricking the consumers. Look at this mess. I've seen this picture before. I've literally seen this picture before. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this mess. This is crazy. Look at this outdoors. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me on this one? I have done so many outdoor demonstrations. It is literally not even funny. Look at this. You really think you're going to pull up an image outside in the daytime at that hour? Mind you, that's not going to happen. That's all a freaking lie. Unbelievable. Weddings. Look what they have over here for weddings. They got here for gaming. Look at the screen for gaming. Look how crystal clear it comes out. Look over here where it says for weddings. Can you imagine buying this for your wedding? Biggest day of your life. You buy this and you get this and set this up and it doesn't even pick up. And that's one of people's lives, I swear. Offices. We've done offices before. I've done multiple offices settings. That's not going to happen at all, period. There is no way in the world you're going to pick up a contrast level. Oh, by the way, affinity contrast level in any one of these settings is extremely important, especially when you're in an office area and you have to pull up pie charts, graphics, all that other stuff at the end of the day. You're going to have some problems in there. You're going to have to say, hey, can someone turn out the lights, please? Yeah, that's what's going to happen, because there's no way in the world you're going to be able to look at your report or documents and look at the screen at the same time. It's not going to happen. But that's a lie. That's not going to happen. Not ever. Now, see how Elite screens? This is Elites. Elites makes these. See how they do theirs? This is how they do theirs right here. They put their logo across it. That's it. I've never seen them put anything else on there. This is what they put up their logo. That's it. But everybody else, no, they put up balloons. They put up huge balloon ride. I guess I don't know what these are at the end of the day. I think it's balloon ride. Somebody's sitting on the beach. Let's keep on going down the road. Let me see what we have here. So this white projection screen. Got to get me a stand that basically swivels now. Let me see. $18, $19. And this is why they contact us. Because again, oh, gee whiz, please don't tell me they put this outside on a drive-in movie theater. Yeah, you got to be outside at nighttime for that one. And the image is still going to be faded and washed out. Oh. Whew. All right. Now, like I said, gray screen does improve it by a little bit, but that's it. You still can't use ambient light projection technology. It doesn't work well with basically gray screens. Gray screens don't read infinity contrast levels. And again, they're not dark enough. Their colors don't pick up that well. Some people sitting in the dark literally think that they're seeing a beautiful color and contrast and all that stuff on a gray screen. No, you're not picking up any of that whatsoever. If that's the case, this is what you can do. Turn on all your lights. That's what you do. Because gunmetal screens, real gunmetal screens at the end of the day, and black technology, we can register in fully lit environments. A black screen can pull a star field whether the lights are on or off. It's going to read. Gray screens can't pull a star field, and neither will the gunmetal pull. They'll pull a darker version, but they won't be able to pull a 100% black. All right. I get this all the time. They're like, well, I have a gray screen, and it sees color. It definitely does. I'm like, nope. Nope. Get this thing to work right. No, it doesn't. If you have a true black screen, a true black Infinity 1 contrast level, it's a simple test. It's very simple. Contrast sees with the lights on, just like white. You have a white screen You show the color white, guess what? It can produce with the lights on or off. Doesn't make a difference. It's a neutral color. Contrast is the exact same thing. If it's black, it doesn't change color because the lights are on. That's like if I turn the lights on, my printer changes a different color. My case for my glasses change a different color. My cell phone screen changes a different. Everything in here that's black changes a different color because it only can turn black if the lights are out. If that's the case, then you don't have an Infinity 1 on your screen. And if that's the case also too, you can't read contrast. No one buys a car, get it painted black, and then go drives around at nighttime and it's black, and in the morning it turns gray. And that means he doesn't have a black car, he has a gray car. All right, so it's a white surface right here. As you can see, people think they're seeing blue, and that's not actually blue, that's a washed out blue. So why the infinity contrast is needed, because this is the color you should be seeing right there. That's actually blue. On gray screens, as I explained before, we're going to talk about white screen today. I'll just show you for a minute because I like to bring this up. That's how a gray screen perceives blue. You put the white surface next to it. You think you're getting an advancement on your screen. You're not. You're actually just upgrading it just a little bit. That's it. So that's all you're getting. That's it. You still can't read blue. So you can't read blue. Now, I want to say this really quick. We get people who get upset, get angry over this. Hey, take me to court. Take me to court on my theory. See if you win. I bet you'll win. You can't win this. Hey, you're going to go to court and tell the court that a gray screen pulls an Infinity 1 contrast and it can read color? Oh, yeah, no, that's not going to work at all, period. It's not going to work. It doesn't read it. On top of that, I have a knowledge of developing gray screen paints way before some people ever existed on YouTube. So I know quite a bit about gray screens at the end of the day. And if they don't work, they don't work. They blend into just about everything you could possibly name. They do. So if you want to challenge me on that in court, yeah, knock yourself out. Anybody. I'm not talking about just one individual. I'm talking about anybody. Bring me to court on that. I bet you $100 it'd be the most embarrassing day of your life. And again, as I said, wasting my time because my time is precious because I got things to do. I'll hit you with a counter lawsuit. So make sure you come correct. If not, it's going to cost you. Waste my time. All right, so let's get back to this white surface. So basically, when we go on site, because we're going to be on site on multiple locations this summer, I will be bumping into white screens. That's what I did when I was at the other place. We bumped into so many white screens, it wasn't even funny. At the other place we was at, the charity center, they had multiple white screens throughout that entire place. So that's what you're going to find. You're going to find a bunch of white screens. In churches, white screens, hospitals. When I was in the hospital getting a checkup, I got bored, kind of to walk around for a little bit. So there's an office area they had back there. Popped in there, just checking out the projector. Oh, cool, nice projector. Guess what's sitting up there? White screen. There's white screens everywhere. So this is the reason why that when you see companies doing side-by-side demonstrations of white screens, is to show the improvement. But if you have a gray screen, keep in mind, it's not much of an upgrade anymore. An upgrade is past already. It's going to do the same thing. You're still going to have to be in a dark environment for the image to pull up. It's still going to wash out. So it's not going to work all that well. Especially if you've got to pay for some money. You're paying for time and you're paying for money. Not for money. You're using money and you're using time to turn around and do it all over again. All right, let's see. Let's go over and let's pull up. No. Better yet. We need half and half. We need our screen to be half and half on this. That's what we need. That's important. All right, that's better. Let's do it this way. All right. Let's go to slow color changer.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, also too, those of you with the gray screens, can you transition? That's a simple question. Can you or can you not transition? Which means that if you're showing a level, you must show your color level, white level and contrast. You have to do this back and forth without the screen basically discoloring. Mind you, this has to be done in fully lit environments, because if you're doing these demonstrations in dark environments all the time, this is going to hurt you big time. What's going to happen when you get into a commercial environment? Or maybe the customer doesn't want to turn the room into a bat cave at the end of the day. Maybe they want to use it in a fully lit environment, you know, like the customers that use my products. None of them want to be stuck in dark environments all day. They want the option to choose. I want to choose to be in a dark environment, I can. If I want to turn the lights on, I can. If I want to have it next to a window, I can. So, you know, it doesn't work out well when you do those, especially with these guys over here to do these fake demonstrations. Let's try this again. Slow color changer.
Getting that from YouTube.
There we go. Now, what is the benefits of black technology over white surface? Again, we've done dozens of these. Let's just read one more in the pile.
You could be anybody and be a part of the Detroit Youth Choir. We have been fight.
This is why I don't do white screens. I got a backyard get-togethers and they pull up a white screen and I'm like, whoop, nookie, I'm gonna watch this on my cell phone, because yep, it's just not gonna work. Now, the reason why gray screen is going to fail on site in a commercial environment is because you're going to have to try to alter environments, and they don't alter environments at all, period. That environment has to stay the exact same way. They're not going to change anything for you. If you have to even have that conversation with them about dimming the lights, your product's already failed. Now, my projector I'm using in the demonstration, it's not the 5,000 lumen Christies or 4,000 lumen Christies we have, or not even the 4,000 Sonys and all the other projectors we have. It's a 50 lumen projector. It's in the range of 720p, has a 1,000:1 contrast. That's it, it's basic. If you can't pick up on basic 50 lumens, your screen has issues. Right now, like I said, I see people using the comfortable lumen count, which is 2,000. That's the comfortable lumen count. 2,000 is going to guarantee you that your screen would pick up somewhat in a well-lit environment. And picture quality is not going to be all that great, but they're all going to try to convince you also too that for your best viewing pleasure, that they want you in an ambient light controlled environment in order to, you know, make your picture quality look more desirable. AKA, you'll be in the dark. So you have to be in ambient light controlled environments. Commercials not for you. Any environments are going to be not for you too well. Not even outside. It's not going to work for you. All right. Let's go grab. Let's see. Let's see if the white sheet of paper can turn my screen unwatchable. 4K snow screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
Nope. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about, do gray screens pull up equal white levels to white screens? That's an interesting one right there, because you've been lied to a lot on that one. So, since the black technology can read a white level, and it can read contrast, and it can read color, then guess what? That makes the other screens, yeah, obsolete, because they can't transition. That's the problem. Background must remain black at all times when we do these demonstrations, especially if we're doing OLED demonstrations. Background must remain black at all times. So when I go to these different sites and we do these demonstrations, this is what we're going to do. When I have to do presentations for the technology, come there with a large piece of drywall, pull out my roller, paint it right into the screen, and do a demonstration. Show them how fast it's easy to apply the technology and the difference between our technology and a white surface. So that means instead of you going into the office, which we've done office settings already, and you have to turn out your lights because you can't get your presentation to pull, this technology will allow you to do it. Even at 50 lumens. Let's go with Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, you know what makes this demonstration so interesting? And I see people doing this demonstration, but they keep pointing toward the white levels. Oh my goodness. Try doing this pointing toward the white levels and have a white screen with your product laying against it. That means your product will come up dirty every time the white levels display. That's the problem you're going to have. But you do know that the hair that the woman has is black. Not gray, it's black. So in order for you to pick up that 100% black level that her hair is producing, that means that your screen's going to have to be able to read it. And I see this all the time. As a matter of fact, one of the things they do skip is skip the intro. The intro is jet black.
Healthy Choice Power Bowls. They said it would be too hard to earn a degree while working full time, but WGU offers flexible degree program.
See right there? That's the intro that comes up. They don't show you this part. They skip over this part and go right to the other part because you know why? The intro won't read on their screen paints. It won't come up. But on a white surface, not going to read. Now, and this screen is why it makes our screen unwatchable. No. Let me show you something real quick. Go back there just a minute on that. I'm going to scoot this over right over here. Put it right down the middle in the red cups. All right. Now, even though the white surface can pick up the white levels, the problem you have here is it can't read color and can't read contrast. Our screen can pick up the white levels and pick up the color and read the contrast at the exact same time. Anytime you develop a screen paint, there's something called a sacrifice line. Something's gonna have to be sacrificed. So it depends on how much of the sacrifice the screen's gonna have to endure. Now that's why we do the demonstrations called black versus black, to show you without the heightener technology, without the LXXVII that's involved in our technology, that the screen will come up so dark you can't see it. That's why we have those demonstrations called black versus black. It also proves that the product doesn't match any black paint, but also too, it shows that the product at the end of the day, that what makes our product so different from an over-the-counter product. We don't go into the whole yellowish tone and all that nonsense. We don't do that crap. You'll see a difference between night and day when it comes to our technology. Now, that's just basically just lying altogether. It's going to be hard to sit there at a convention or even in a commercial environment with anyone and try to convince them that two screens that look exactly the same and one has a yellowish tone. People don't want to hear that. You have to show a difference between night and day. So with gunmetal screens, with darker screens, the sacrifice line is going to be, with the gray screens, it's going to be contrast. They're going to be contrast in color. That's their sacrifice line. With gunmetal, because they can't reach the infinity black level, it'll still be a sacrifice line there too with the contrast levels. And still in our technology, they don't match us because they can't read the 1% color. So there's a sacrifice line there also too. Now, they have to bring up that white level. Again, the white level is very important because the white level screen doesn't register, as we showed you with black versus black demonstrations. You know, without that coating, without that ingredients we put into it, there's no way possible that our technology would be able to pull. and it would come up too dark. Virtually you couldn't be to watch it. So we know when we do these demonstrations against white levels, we do them on 50 lumen projectors, we do them at 1,000 lumens, we do them in fully lit environments. You can check out our page. We have a section there just for 1,000 lumen setups. We have to do that in that kind of environment to show you that even if we start off at 1,000 lumens at 16 feet in a max out environment, it doesn't end with 1,000, ends with far less than that. Mind you, if the meter system can't read the light, what do you think is going to happen to the projector at 1,000 lumens? Usually when somebody does those demonstrations, they'll pick a projector of 4,000, 5,000, because they know they're going to be sacrificing a lot of lumens before it makes contact to the screen. But still, you're going to have a lot more than 1,000. That's why we use 1,000 in our demonstrations against a white surface. Very important. If you're not seeing these demonstrations, see, that's the reason why. When I come on here, not only do I tell you why the demonstrations are important, but the reason why they're important. That's why you don't see anybody doing any tests, because they don't know what they're doing at all, period. And that's why the demonstrations remain in the dark, because they just don't work. Just like white screens, they don't register and they don't work. The good thing about a white screen, and the only purpose for it, and I'll tell you right now, is the fact you can just paint over it with our technology. That's what makes it fantastic. If you were to go out and buy a cheap white screen and a cheap gray screen's going to cost you $100 more, because it's gray. That's why they're going to charge a little more for it. White screen, on the other hand, cheaper. That's why we paint over them all day. I always got to charge my phone. I got phone 24/7 to charge my phone. Hey, what's up, Walter? Yep. When I go on site, I can easily walk into any restaurant, any sports bar, any place, and convince them to code our black technology in there, because we show a massive difference between a white surface and black technology. And then they can turn the lights on for a change, which would be really nice. Put our charge in there. Let's see if we can find anything else to try to turn our screen unwatchable. Skyworth food demo. Oh, we did that already. Cancel. TCL 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Can't read it because I can't see color. Oh, I forgot we got battery banks. That's why when I first started showing a demonstration off the projector desk, you put the gray screen up there and put the white screen up there to show you they don't read. Because again, you get people who get a little too passionate about products that don't work, will come up there and paint a table gray and go, look, it works perfectly fine. No, it doesn't at all. It doesn't read. You do it on a standalone. How about this? Go pick up smarter surfaces, stick that on your screen, see what happens. You'll see it. It won't read. Your screen doesn't read. Yep, shove that sucker right over to the window. We had one, we did a demonstration on a table. Kitchen is surrounded in windows. Could run it right off the table with no problem. That's why you don't see gray screens painted the ceilings. It's a waste of money, a waste of time. How much work it takes to paint a screen to a ceiling? It's some work. I'll tell you that much. So imagine you paint a gray screen to your ceiling and you go to do a star field demonstration with the lights on. See what happens. Not gonna go well. They're stuck in ambient light controlled environments. Just like this white surface. It's stuck in an ambient light controlled environment. So, those of you using white screens right now, you've got pretty much, I say, 30% of your projector. That's what you have. You paid for 100%, you own 30% of it. That's what you have. And the reason why I can relate to you on this, because I did it myself. BenQ MS500. I think I'm gonna buy me another one of this projector too. It's my first projector. Did it to myself. I thought I did all that reading and did the research on the projector, went to forum sites and everything about this projector, and it was from all the colors, and I was watching the display. Like I watched it on YouTube, and I saw a lot of people in dark environments. And mind you, I'm coming off OLED TVs, and I'm coming off high-end Tesla video card. So, yeah, it didn't look nothing like my monitors, I tell you that much. I was sadly disappointed. Gray screen, much better improvement. Much better improvement at that time. Until I got my hands on Black Diamond technology. Yeah, that kind of changed a lot of stuff right there. Let's go grab ourselves. Let me see.
Bugs. Give me the scaly, the squishy, the beadier the eyes.
I have a demonstration where I use a $60 projector on a 150-inch screen, and I watch Tron. But not only that, I watch Tron off my ceiling too, because the other projector sitting on the floor is a 720p projector, also too. They're both NECs. So I can watch Tron off my ceiling, or I can watch it off a 150-inch screen. Advancements of black technology are unbelievable. When I game, I see 100% black. I see real color. And as you can see, technology can maintain its white levels. If it couldn't, well, it would come out like that black paint that we do demonstrations on all day. Now, for those of you trying to develop black technology, let me explain to you the difficult road you will travel down. A black screen requires a ton of testing. More testing than gray screens, way more testing than white screens. Because it's a harder technology to prove that it actually works. So you need a ton of demonstrations. People try to make these quick fix products, stop it. Because all you're doing is just embarrassing yourself. That's pretty much what you're doing. If you don't get it right the first and second time, then, you know, your name and your credibility is automatically just been, it's destroyed already from the door. You have to show some form of progress. Quick fix, cutting corners, not going to help you in black technology. This stuff is extremely temperamental. So you have to get a black surface to generate white light, and you have to do this on low lumen projectors and fully lit environments. You have to do this at distance throw. You'll have to do this on ultra short throw, because ultra short throw can be finicky, extremely finicky when it comes to darker surfaces. They can basically have disruption issues, and narrow viewing cone effects could trigger off. Anything could happen. And you're going to have to do these demonstrations in fully lit environments and dark environments. And again, if you're competing with the certified screens because you want to get money for your product, in the long run, you don't want to be in the same type category as the $50 and $60 paints at the end of the day. You don't want to be in that area. So if you want a little more money for it, guess what? You're going to have to show that you can take out a high performance screen such as certified. And let me explain to you something about the certified. Certifieds are beasts. They are absolute beasts to try to take those screens on. Yeah, you got your work cut out for you. And you have tons of demonstrations to do on white levels as we do here. You're going to have to own multiple projectors, and I mean multiple projectors. No 2 or 3, we're talking about 70 plus N you're going to need. A lot of tests, a lot of demonstrations, and that's just inside. We haven't stepped outside yet. And once you do it outside, then you have commercial properties you have to go through, because again, your product can basically show a difference here, but it could show a completely difference there. Yeah. So that's just the start. Let's talk about the making of the product and what you're going to have to do. I'm not going to tell you what goes into ours, but you have to figure a way how to get a jet black screen, and it has to be jet black. It can't be gray, it can't be gunmetal. It has to be literally black, because you have to pass something called a black versus black test, which means when you do the pour out, you have to be the same color as the black surface when it comes out. When that surface turns into a star field, guess what? Everything around it should pick up a star field. And you come up gray, you're not a black screen. Nope, I do it all the time. And I bring surfaces down here that claim to be black. We put them against the screen and they turn gray. I'm like, "Oop, well, that wasn't black at the end of the day. That was definitely gray." Yeah, you're going to have to go through that. So, yeah, you're going to have to do tons and tons of tests on just about every black surface you could possibly think of. And you're going to have to stick that against your screen and do it all live. If the gray screen paint terrifies you on doing great demonstrations, gray versus gray, well, then you're not ready for this field at all, period. You can't pass a basic gray versus gray. You have no business being there black versus black. Much more harder demonstrations to do. So yeah, so you're gonna have to figure out a way how to get a screen to produce an ultra black level, maintain a beautiful white level that can pass demonstrations like this at 50 lumens, and you're gonna have to be able to get a perfect color balance, which means there's a white tone that pops up, and you have to be able to pick up that tone. The tone turns into two different tones. There's a tone that picks up on an all-white level, but then there's a different tone that picks up on everyday demonstrations like snowfields and skin tones and stuff like that. So, pretty interesting. So you'll put black paint on one side, you'll put a white surface on the other side, and you'll show a color. You'll show that the black surface can't read the color because it doesn't pick up a high enough white level, where the white surface doesn't pick up the color either because it doesn't pick up a high enough black surface. So you need both black and white to pick up color. There has to be a balance there. If you put too much to heighten it, then the contrast will start to drop. If the contrast has to be super high, but you have to be to balance it off with the white levels, and at the same time get a balance of color at the same time. And then once you figure that out, then you'll go through the rest of the craziness. Or we haven't started with the ambient rejection test either. So you should have somewhere at least a good 70 to 80 videos already done. Tests can take anywhere from an hour to 3 hours long. I can kill an hour easily. I'm about to kill one right now. So you should be, and projector swap outs, nothing you have to do. Don't get comfortable with your machines, bad mistake. What are you going to do? Carry the same machine with you on every single setting, every single sighting? You're going to advise people to buy the same projector you have in your demonstration because it's the only one that works with your product correctly? Can't do that. Nope. You got to do a projector swap out, which means you should be to disconnect your projector, change from ultra short to long throw pico projector, and swap back and forth without skipping a beat, and run the same test back to back. Can't do that, and you're not ready for it. YouTube, you can get away with a little bit of your trickery. People can get a little trickery out there on site, face to face. You can forget that. And you can talk all that nonsense at the end of the day. They're like, yeah, yeah, whatever. Prove it. Ain't about that. You gotta prove it. So you can see it's a white screen. Yeah, nope. And for some people want to sit there and argue and go, but that's not an actual white screen. Let me explain something to you. Take a white sheet of paper, stick it against your white screen, see if there's a difference. Heck, go get a t-shirt, stick it up there. I've done that test already. I've literally had this argument and discussion in a forum site where people were talking about white screens being the golden screens. And one there says, hey, that thing does the same thing as a white surface, a white sheet of paper. Anything white will do the same thing as a white screen. There's no real difference whatsoever. But it has a 2.0. It has a 0.2, it has a 1.0. No. They all do the same thing. When you don't believe me, don't do it yourself. There are people who sell white screen paint. I would never understand that as long as I live. How are we selling white screen paint? What's the difference between white screen paint and a white bed sheet? Same theory. People sell gray paint. What's the difference between your gray paint and other gray paints out there? What's the difference? We sell black technology. What's the difference between our black technology and other black paints and products out there? That's why you have to do the test. There you go. It comes up. It's going to come up. It's definitely going to come up. Can't hide from something like that. It's going to come up. Rather you face the music than at the end of the day, you have to deal with it later on. Get it over and done with. Get your test done.
Pain, go away. Don't let weather-related pain dampen your day. Just one.
I try to give a little advice to people who make these products at the end of the day. Don't cut corners. Not a good thing to do. Never. It'll come back to bite you in the face. So as you can see, the white surface, no competition for our technology. So that means when I go on site, any office building, any established, any sports bar, any place we land that's a white screen, they're all tripped for this technology. I can just come in there and just take a surface and just stick it right against your screen and boom, change it that fast. Which that's what we're going to have on us, this giant surface. A 4x4 black surface that I can put right in the middle of their screen and they can hit their projector and see the difference. Now which sounds better to you? 150-inch screen in your sports bar that you can have all the lights on and enjoy your screen. As a matter of fact, it replaces the TV too. You spend all the money for these 80 and 90-inch TVs, and you can have a massive 150, 160, even a 200-inch screen in your sports bar. Do you have much business you would bring to your business at the end of your company at the end of the day? Oh, no. They got a 200, a what? A 200-inch screen in a sports bar. Yeah. You ever watch freaking football on a 250? I did it on a 250. Gee whiz, believe it's a big screen. Even at 100 inches, that's still huge for a sports bar. Man, you could set up all kinds of stuff with a 100-inch screen, even a 120-inch screen. You could set up a whole section in there where people can have, they could reserve parties, sport parties and all that stuff. Oh, that's what I would definitely do. If I had a sports bar, well, I don't really drink or anything, so, you know, but still, if I had one, I would have a section there where you can set up parties for sports and stuff like that. Have like a 150-inch screen on display. Oh, they'd freaking love it. Have it set up with a cool LED light system, so whatever team that you support, you can actually change the screen to that color. Everything in there would just glow that color. See? Gotta think outside the box, people. My mind runs on business 24/7. And somebody probably take that idea and run with it. Go ahead, make money. But you'll need our technology to do it. Let's go over and let's grab, let me see. Ooh, got a nice little, oh, no. Let's go here.
What if pen medicine could unlock the future?
That's funny when I see commercials like that when they talk about unlocking the future. It's funny when you think about it, and it's kind of jacked up at the same. Well, it's actually jacked up at the same time. And if they do figure out how to cure something, if it basically, I don't even want to go down that road to that topic, but you know what I'm talking about from the door. If it's something like where COVID hit, and it's major, like major, where it's a global, you have to give that stuff out for free. You had to. The world would shut down. So it has to be. But if it's something where people have it and a majority of people don't, they're going to, only the rich could afford it. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Yeah, so I'm going to voice my opinion. That's what I like to do. Look at that. So yeah, the white screen, huge, massive fly. Massive fly. We've done tons of demonstrations of white screens. We've done them outside, we've done them inside, off the short throw, you name them. Massive fly. And then when you go there and you go to Amazon, you see these demonstrations and they're saying, hey, this will pick up on, no it won't. They don't even pick up at 50 lumens. On a standalone, yeah, it looks okay. But for someone who's been looking at black technology, even someone who's been around gunmetal, they can look at that and go, no, that's washed out. Because we can see it. Tell you, it's like going to the store to buy your projector, and I'm ordering it, and you get it, and it's only half the projector, and like, whoa. Where's the rest of my projector? And they'll sit there and go, oh, no, you won't need that part right there. Or you'll pay for the whole thing. You definitely will pay for the whole thing. But at the end of the day, you're only gonna get like about a half of that. That's all you're gonna get. And you can argue all you want, but you're never gonna use that stuff that's in your projector, not ever. That's all you're gonna need. I did a demonstration where we took a projector, took it apart, cut it in half, and did demonstrations on a white screen and gray screen versus our technology. Yeah, you get half a projector. That's pretty much what you paid for. What about my contrast levels? Oh, forget about that. You are never using that ever. Not ever you ever would use contrast levels. Not that 10,000. Well, I don't care what your contrast rating is. You can't see it. You're never using it. Ever. Those people think I'm wrong on that? A little demonstration for you. Starfield. Turn all your lights on. See if that 2 million to 1 contrast kicks. See if that 50 million to 1 contrast kicks. I told you, there's a room with a JVC projector. Back and forth having a conversation with this guy. He spent all this money, and this projector had an insane amount of contrast attached to this beast. This thing was huge. Projector, you ever seen the JVCs, the big boys? Yeah, and I said, yeah, do me a favor. I'm going to send you over a link. Do me a favor. Turn on all your lights and show me this demonstration right here. Yeah, that screen came up gray. It came up gray. And I said, yep, I told you. All that money you spent for that machine, and you bring there bragging about your contrast levels, and you can't even use them. Now here's my projector with a whopping 3,000 to 1 contrast, and look what I pick up in a 40-lit environment. The Optima GT 5500, we had that thing outside at 140 inches. Way the size of the Optima GT. What is that like with the Optima GT 55 and 56? Is they did 100 inches. My screen was 126. I'm like, I can't use this thing. The screen doesn't go up big enough. Only the projector's going to produce an image that big. Didn't realize the technology would allow us to do it. Because when we pull the projector back, we don't lose any picture quality. The screen is nothing but contrast. So we don't have that issue. That's why we're doing these massive giant screens outside and inside on these cheap little projectors. Now, if you tried it on a gray or white screen, your image distorts. Your image is going to distort when the lights come on. What's going to happen when you pull your image back? If you can read 600 by 800 res at 18 feet back, hit a screen in a bay of windows with a chandelier, and pick up sharp without a screen door effect, yeah, that's a heck of a screen right there. If we did that on a white screen, screen door would pop up because you can see it. Screen door effect is black. It's a black screen that pops up. Kind of hard to read that when your screen's black. It eliminates it. So this is what we're going to be showing off when we go to on site. I got 37 locations that we'll be renting and going in and out to show off our screens. And about out of 10 of those locations, they're office setups. And the people were asking about what do we need the conference room. We said, well, we got a black screen that we want to show off. The first thing they said, well, we got monitors in there if you need them. I said, we don't need any monitors. We're bringing our own. He said, what kind of, he said, these are not really monitors. I said, it's a black projection screen. And it said black projection screen. They never heard of that. The minute you mention it, they're already curious from the door. Didn't even tell them about it. It's black. Any car, when I go take my list back and forth, and they ask me what I do for a living, I say, well, we make black projection screens. That's the first thing I probably, black? How's it black? See, I know about that feeling because that's the first thing I went through my head when I saw Diamond's technology. I'm like, how the freak? A black screen? Like, how's that possible? I know that feeling. I went through it myself. That curiosity pops off. You're used to seeing screens white all the time. You don't used to seeing them black. So we told her black screens. They would say, hey, you don't mind if I bring a few people with me to look at this screen? Yep. Because once they see that screen firing off in that fully lit environment, and our projectors are way cheaper than their projectors, what they're using in their setups, because they spent all this money for these high-end projectors because they couldn't get the screen to work. They thought spending more money for a projector would fix the issue with the screen. And we're going to come in here with these projectors under $100, produce an image on a well-lit environment and their own environment. This is where we're going to have to make a lot of pain.
An important message for Americans age 50 to 85.
5. Hey,
Because you have any idea, that building is huge. The building I was in is nothing compared to the one we're going to. We're gonna actually put 2 of those buildings in one of that building. That building is huge, and there's white screens throughout the entire. It's a unit that they have for basically when people want to don't have offices or something, and they want to do a conference or whatever, and that's what they do them at this place right here. They set up their conference and whatever we're going to do for business meetings. That's what they do right there, and that's where we're going to be at, one of these buildings. So that's why they're interested in looking at that black technology, because you know, we put this technology in there over the white screens. This would put their building on the map. They could literally brag about that. Oh, you could do your conference in a fully lit environment. And of course, every time they talk about that, they have to bring up my company's name. Just like the ad tech technology that's going to be displayed downtown, that screen shows our logo flashing up, all their information in between all the different commercials. So the idea they got was they had this massive window from one end to the next. It's huge. And when I walked past there, I saw all these little advertisements in the window. They do use them for advertising. This is just advertising. Doesn't move, doesn't do anything. So I walk into the building and I have a conversation. And I show them the ad tech technology. I show them the demonstration. This is very important. Why you want to do business with companies is because I can show them the businesses where we had the fish blowing through the window. And that was all it took. And they came downstairs and said, what window do you want? Where do you want to put it at? That can cost me a dime. You know why? Because we'll advertise their company through that ad tech. That gives us basically, shows the technology, displays it, gives them free advertisement, and we don't pay a dime. And since our technology is cheap, our projectors cost nothing. That's nothing. I can pay under $100 for the ultra short throw. Heck, the NEC over there would do the job just fine. It's under $100. That's all we need. Once that ad tech goes up, they already know from the door. Even what I'm requesting was like, you're looking for any investors? Yeah, because they know that once the ad tech displays at every store on that freaking strip is going to want that technology displayed in their windows, and they're looking to make a ton of money off of it. And the fact they can filter sunlight, that's a big plus. Sunlight, when you're in an area like that, doesn't even stay up that long. It really doesn't. In the peak early mornings, it'll hit the glass. The glass will absorb it, the technology will absorb it and display. But then once you hit the afternoon, this stuff basically still maintains the exact same way the sunlight hit through it. So it's going to do quite well. But as you can see, your white screens, this is why you're better off painting with our technology. And let's do the transition. Sony 1 hour demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
I like this one because it has a transition. I'm gonna show some other stuff in there too besides that.
hold on. An Oreo snack cake? Yes, sir. Yummy, fluffy, soft.
Oh, I'm gonna get some of those today. Looks pretty interesting. So let's go over and let's get some other areas we didn't hit because we're doing a transition. Here we go. Yep, this is why when I went to Disney World, we went to the line exhibit, had these great big white screens wrapped all the way across. I was like, this is really, could at least went with some gunmetal technology, something in there. But they're all white screens, and their projectors were insane. They had barcode projectors in there. Barcode. Nice setup. And it just, I couldn't look at the screens. I had to leave. It was stressing me out. I'm on vacation. It's stressing me out to be in there. Every place we went to had white screens in there. Literally every screen had white screen. Went to the freaking, a couple of restaurants. They had white screens in there. Huh, man. That's just, yeah. So pretty much at the end of the day, we have to show our technology going against certified. It's very important because I want to know 100% that if I ever get into a situation where we're dealing with a customer who may have those, they have deep pockets at the end of the day and they can afford certified. I want that business at the end of the day. It's business at the end of the day. I want their business. I have to prove at the end of the day that that technology can take on any one of those certified screens and we can save them thousands of dollars by doing it. And we have that capability. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. We save them a ton of money. You ever seen anybody do that Facebook meme? Where you have the guy sitting there, he has some kind of debate on the side of his table and says, change my mind, change my mind. Show me where a gunmetal screen, a white screen, and a gray screen can take on our black technology. I should get a table like that, so change, and have the displays in the back. Change my mind. But right now, the only screens we're really right at the end of the day will be going against white screens. That's it. But I like to know that I have that insurance, that 100% that if I paint this up to a ceiling, to a floor, outside, or everywhere we stick it, projector mapping, applications, rear projection technology, all that stuff, we got it covered. Gaming technology, we got it covered. But the only screen we're really going to be going against, white screen. That's it. Outside? Oh my goodness. Do you know what this technology looks like outside? It's crazy what it looks like outside. And the only screens I see outside are white screens. I'm going to network the daylights out of this product. Look at that. How beautiful that looks. Now, if you had my 50 lumen projector over here, this is my, we got to put this on the list too, because we actually support these projectors. We had them for a long time. I just never got around to putting them up there. But the Brookstones, we do support. Here's my specifications. My projector. I think mine's a PP71. PP71. Oh, by the way, this is the table. For those who don't know, a table projection screen coated with the FLE Alpha CINEMAX, which is going to be available real soon. We got paperwork back. I'll say about that good news. Let's see. Here we go. There's my baby right there. PP71. Pico projector, 50 lumens. Right there. My little baby right there. I actually moved the projector up a little bit higher so I can get my 20-inch screen in there. Let me pause this for a minute because I don't want you to think I'm basically trying to cover up the screen, because we've seen someone do that before. We don't do that. All right, so my projector specifications real quick, because people always ask me about what we're using in our demonstrations. This has 1,000:1 contrast right there. It also too is an LED and DOP. Yeah, someone came on our channel trying to basically disrespect me and try to say at the end of the day, well, it's a LED projector. No, it's not a LED projector. It's a DOP and LED. These are called hybrid projectors. At a Casio had the exact same setup, and it was laser at that. It was both DOP, LED, and laser. But these projectors, if you do, or if you're interested in buying these things, here we go. Make sure it has this logo right there on the side of it, right? Before you go out and you buy it, because again, that makes a big difference. But it has that DLP combination. It really does, because the LEDs are actually really bad. All right, has 50 lumens right there. So you can see that's my 50 lumens right there. And there's my resolution, which has an 854 by 480. Yep. All right, now let's proceed. I can watch penguins walk all day. I love how they put their arms back. I think they do when they're walking. They're like little businessmen. A bird that can't fly. Well, ostrich can't fly either. Something that cute at the end of the day is a savage. Go over and try to pet one, see what happens. So take your fingers off. Not to be played with. With the cool looking though. Look at that walk. Look at that walk! That waddle! I tell you, man, people work at the zoo, you got it good, man. You get to work around them all day long. Oh my goodness. Let's go. I'm gonna get the transition before we run out of time here. I got some stuff I gotta do today. Let's see. Let's get this too. I'm gonna get this red color in here.
Unlike some hearts, Reese's don't taste like desperation. Happy Valentine's Day.
And see, came on here, do a demonstration. Already passed an hour already, that fast. If you're doing like 30-minute, 20-minute, trying to do demonstrations, no. You can't do demonstrations that short. Lost your mind. You need more time than that. Hour, 2 hours is what it takes to do a demonstration properly. If you're doing tests, it takes a lot longer than that. There is so much stuff that people need to see. The problem is they got to pick and choose. That's what it comes down to. Choose less videos with less contrast. You don't do that. You show videos with white levels, contrast. Doesn't really make a difference. Ain't that right, Mr. What are you talking about? What are you? That's why the demonstrations are so long, because there's a lot you need to see. A lot. That's why you see me doing the YouTube field trips. I'm like, that's it. There is so many unanswered questions here. Like, we didn't do any contrast levels, no fully lit environments, and nothing whatsoever. Environments were ambient light controlled. There is no way in the world a P2 projector should be sitting in an environment that dark. I'm not talking about one person. I've seen multiple people do that with that projector. I only saw one person on YouTube actually take that projector out of a box and stick it in a fully lit environment, and the contrast levels, nothing showed on the screen. Only one person. Everybody else had that thing sitting in the dark. That's supposed to replace the TV? Really? That ain't gonna happen. Not on that screen, it won't. Nope. Oh, this is a nice one too. We gotta do this one too. I like that color in there. Now I think after when the summer hits, I think we have right now I say about of 100, I say 90% of our customer base is online. After we hit on offline and we start doing our demonstrations, because I got something set up where people can make their orders right there on the spot. I am going to be, I think we're going to be way past that number. I think our online sales are probably going to be dropping a little bit due to the fact we're probably going to be doing more offline sales. We'll still do both, but the majority of our sales are going to come offline. People are going to be right there on the spot to see that technology for themselves, eye to eye. On top of that, consider the fact that we're going to be dealing with a lot of companies at that. When we walk into one building, they got 90 of them white screens in there. Guess what? It gets transferred into this technology. And there's pretty much no shipping cost of that. All right, let's do a little transition. We're actually going back and forth in the transition there. Oh, I want to do this one too. Sorry, I like this. I know we're going over time. It's just so much I like to show you. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How does a gray house paint turn our black technology unwatchable? I find that funny. This is going to be interesting in court. But anyway, how is that possible? My projector is 50 lumens. We're at a longer distance than an ultra short though right now. I'm about 5 feet from my screen. So where my, whatchamacallit hits, probably about, I'd say probably about 3 feet. This is how far my projector hits up. So it's at the same level as the ledge we have with the shelf we have. So that's how high my projector sits up on my desk. So, and we're on white sheet of paper. Not on a gray surface versus our screen. We're on a white sheet of paper at 50 lumens on a black surface. And again, well-lit area. Well-lit area. Because if you look at my table is all bright. So how? How is that possible? Yeah, we know what it is. Yeah, black paint in there, because that's what black paint does. If we lay black paint against our screen, yeah, it comes up dark and it won't read. Looks exactly the same way as it does in the videos. Oh man, I tell you, I can't wait. Did that just hit menu? We did hit menu. Ugh. YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's YouTube.
Can't wait.
These used cars look the same, but Carfax can show how damage history affects the value.
When you missed your shot.
Did we just come out of a commercial just to go back into a commercial? Really? And let's bring this up because I want to get to this transition page real quick. It's one of my favorite pages to do. That's what gets me right there. When I'm sitting there watching these demonstrations, we do these on white surfaces all the time. And then someone makes that accusation. Oh well, that's gonna cost them. I'm glad I'm not on that side of the fence. She is. I think I'm gonna do a smaller setup like this for when we do the expos. We have expos down here, technology expos down here in Allentown. So I want to do a table setup. A table setup and a wall setup. So what we're going to do is we're going to have table here, and we're going to have a section this way so that we can hit the wall here, or a makeshift wall that will be attached to the table, and the table at the same time. So I can put a projector here and a projector there. That's how we're going to design it. I swear, if I didn't have that outlet there, I would just change this entire wall to one big screen and just set up a couple of Pico projectors, because that's all we would need, literally, to run on the table. You don't need anything else. That's 50. One of the projectors I'm looking at right now, the Cumi, is 600 lumens. Yeah, 600 lumens. We'll look on this technology, and that being 50 lumens, yeah, on the entire table of the Pico projectors. Are we in the transition stage, aren't we? Did we just transition or we did transition? I don't know. Yeah, we did. We did transition. I love the transition. So the transition, it means the screen should have the ability to be able to transfer from bright colors to 100% contrast and back out. Like if I do 300 lumens on my projector, 150 lumens, it'll still run. We're hitting it at 50 with no problem. I'm gonna do a whole table on the Pico setup. It's gonna be sick. That's what I'm gonna do. I can literally build the whole thing myself. Make it so I can disassemble, take the whole entire thing apart. Yeah. I'm definitely build something pretty cool for it. Alright, on the transition stage. This is the white surface. That's why I said you get a white screen with your projector set up. It's not going to work. This is why we showed you in the day what makes our technology perfect for your setup. Yeah, commercial.
Axing, relaxing, waxing, and well.
There we go. And when I pick up 10 a.m., and then I look at the height when I pick up the height. We ended up on top here. go. Done. So if you want to see more of our demonstrations, check out our website, demo page, test page, or you can pop over to our YouTube channel, go into our search, and check out more demonstrations, because we've done just about everything you can possibly think of to make sure our products are well tested and work perfectly fine. As you can see, we can easily do this demonstration next to a white screen with no problem. This is what I'm going to look forward to this year, going to all these different settings where they have these white screens and showing up these demonstrations of our technology versus a white surface. So a lot of these companies actually believe that at the end of the day, that they bought this really high power projector and a white screen, that they're going to see this beautiful image, and they don't pick up anything at all. If we could do this at 50 lumens, imagine we could do with everything else. That's why I said never go with that comfortable 2000 nonsense. Nah, because you alienate yourself to all the other projectors. There's a ton of people projectors they can't even use. And these projectors are fantastic. Same size as that one right up there. Batman versus Superman.
Getting that from YouTube.
I love this because it has such dark contrast. I can watch Batman with the lights on, like literally, I've done this multiple times. Should be to do this.
Make last winter the last winter you don't know how to ski or snowboard. Pennsylvania is home to...
Yeah, absolutely. The worst thing you can use on a dedicated theater room is a white and gray screen. Even silver is horrible. Worst thing you can use. Yeah, I don't pick up anything at all. 50 lumens. That's it on my baby right here. It really doesn't make a difference what projector we use. At 50, 4000, 2000, 3000, 2600, 2800. Really don't make a difference. They won't read on the screens. All right, people, with that being said, I'm going to skedaddle. I got to go. I got things to take care of. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. And for those of you who have white projection screens and you're looking to upgrade, even if you have a gray projection screen and you're looking to upgrade to something better, something far more advanced, tired of getting ripped off, then you contact us and we'll make sure you get an amazing setup. If you haven't purchased a projector yet, I got plenty of people I do business with at the end of the day where I can get you a projector where you'll be paying next to nothing for your setup. Something here. As I said before, gray screens don't work either. Yep. So, if you're tired of getting ripped off, you want the most you pay for your projector investment, you contact us, and we'll set you up with a product that's tested, batch number tested. And if you need any information on our products, feel free to go to our YouTube channel. We got tons of information on our products, and our website has a ton of information on our products also. You can watch customer demonstrations and all our shopping carts. and batch number demonstrations. Anything you want to know, it's on our site for you to check out. Very well knowledgeable site. Fun site at the end of the day. There's a lot of cool stuff going on the site at that. And you can check out our happy customers also too. That are also on our page. With that being said, oh, I forgot to add real quick. We do have free worldwide shipping anywhere in the world for free. No expensive surcharge fees, nothing like that. All right, gotta go. Thank you all. And of course, gotta remember, and always remember, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology. Gotta go. God bless.